welcome to the first episode of Her Side of Things. And today, we have a really special guest with us today. Even though she's just a ninth grader, she notices things and gives a second thought about it. So, Ananya, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, thank you Akshara for having me on. I'm Ananya and I'm from grade 9 and I spend time exploring things I'm curious about, whether that's science, astrophysics, sports, or just learning something that catches my eye. I enjoy activities like badminton and Bharatanatyam, and I really like anything that involves teamwork, creativity, or problem solving. I'm also someone who loves asking questions and figuring out how things work, which is probably why I also enjoy following motorsport and Formula One from time to time. Overall, I just enjoy trying new things, learning, and exploring different interests.
That is such a great way to introduce yourself. And I think, we're really similar. Even I love asking questions and I'm really curious. Oh, so this is where my curiosity comes into the picture. You mentioned Formula One. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, Formula One, it's a sport, and I feel like why I enjoy it so much is because it's a perfect mix of science and sport. And as much as the drivers play a part in Formula One, engineers play a huge role as well. And there are such a major reason that the sport works at such a high level. Like just because we see the drivers on screen, I feel like we ignore a lot about what goes on behind the scenes. There are hundreds and thousands of engineers, data scientists spending time working on each car. They improve lots of things like the aerodynamic flow, the brake system, suspension, safety features. There's so much thought and there's so much science that goes into the sporting spectacle that Formula One is right now.
But I never really thought about it this way. I've heard that there are racers in F1 and it's like a racing event, but I never really thought about how the car works or the science behind it. Can you give me a few examples? Like, I'm interested now.
Well, there are a lot of engineers that are currently coming to the forefront of the sport. For example, you have the likes of Adrian Newey, Peter Bonington, you have Tom Stallard, Will Joseph, and there are so many more. And there are also people like Benedict Collins, Laura Muller. Yeah,
Wait, like, only two women? Are there
well,
more?
Well, not really, because women are not at the forefront of engineering or STEM because they are not there's such a projection by the society that women are not supposed to be in STEM or that it's not exactly made for us. But it's not like that. And I feel nowadays it's changing a bit. There are people actually coming up, showing themselves and making girls feel more confident that we can do something in STEM.
Yeah, because even I've heard so much about this, like the prejudices and the stereotypes that boys can do something that girls can't, and that is not true. I'm an 11th grader and I've chosen science as my stream. So basically, when I entered my classroom for the first time, I was like, only 15, only five girls and there are 15 boys? Like, what's going on here? This is so concerning. Even in my own locality, I talked to a few girls and I asked them whether they're interested in STEM, like why aren't they pursuing careers in those and in this field? And they were like, we aren't supported by our parents, or they feel like it's too tough for them. And this is what society teaches us, that science is too tough for girls. But I beg to differ. I mean, it is so easy. We just we need to be curious. We need to think analytically, and I feel like that's all that's required, right?
Yeah, and I think society makes it such a thing that boys are meant for these fields and girls are meant for the others, and it's just so concerning to see how society is not still ready to accept that these two like things can merge. Like you could have men working in female dominated fields and females working in male dominated fields. There shouldn't be the concept of having one gender in a particular field, right? I think you should just go for what you're passionate for and just be able to put yourself out there and try what you want, not to be like held back by your society, parents, or just people around you. So
Right. I mean, I love this mindset of yours, and I feel like if all teenagers think like this, there can be a change in the future. The future can be brighter. I mean, even when we're interested in sports, like I used to watch IPL, and I was sad that, okay, why are you watching it? I mean, it's for boys. Are you just like interested in looking at the cricketers? Like, I didn't like this mindset at all. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever been told
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I think I like when I start watching a sport, I like to delve deep. So I read a lot of books and I try and understand the like stats behind it and things like that. And so if I carry a book related to cricket or something to school, I constantly get questions from the boys. They try to quiz you. They're like, "I'm sure you don't actually like the sport. You watch the sport because the cricketers look good." And that mindset is just so wrong. And I think this is such a generational issue. When I try to speak about this to others, they just try and say, okay, maybe it's not meant for this, but that's not the mindset we should be having. If this is a real thing, then why can't we change it? It's sport is for everyone, right?
Right, exactly. Like, why are boys pushed more towards this field and girls said, "Okay, you can't do it." I mean that's so wrong. Like, I absolutely adore maths. Like, I really love that subject. And whenever I'm asking somebody, okay, when like I'm telling somebody, okay, I love maths, they're like, why? You're a girl. You should get into biology. I mean, what does that mean? I don't like that at all. I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense because like there's so many people who are telling you, okay, this is right, this is wrong. It's not like that. I enjoy something. I enjoy science, I enjoy math. I enjoy what I enjoy. And obviously, I want my life to be something doing something I enjoy, right? I don't want this to be like, oh, he or she told me that, okay, this is meant for me and so I'm doing it. I should do what my heart tells me to do, what my passion is. And I think what people are saying that, oh, you're a girl, you shouldn't be liking this, you shouldn't be liking that, they're just forcing people to do things that they don't really want to do, which is not really right. I
yeah,
mean,
I agree. So we're talking so much about STEM. I want to know what like interested you in STEM, what caught your attention.
STEM. So basically, I've always liked science. Physics is something I've been passionate about since I was really young. And I think with my conversation, you'd understand I'm a huge sports fan. Like, I watch
Yeah.
so many different sports. I watch motorsport, cricket. I've even tried watching rugby, tennis, badminton. And when I was like trying to understand these sports initially, when I got into them, what I found out is there's such a humongous amount of science behind every single sport. Formula One is an example where science is like accepted to be at the forefront of the sport. But even for example, cricket, tennis, badminton, these have so many angles involved in them. And I felt like, okay, why isn't the scientific elements of these sports put across to people as well? Because I don't think most or 90% of the audience watching cricket actually thinks, okay, why is the bowler trying to bowl an in swinger and why is it coming at this angle? And I find that really upsetting. And so I really want to work in a way where I can combine these two passions with STEM and sports together. What about you? Why did you get into STEM?
So my main motivation was, I told you I'm really curious. I'll ask out of the box questions that anybody who might ask to, they have to think hard about it. So that was like, I was like, okay, this field is so great. Like it has so many vast number of opportunities. But I was concerned with how less people are involved in it. I mean, I love coding, I love math. And you also mentioned about sports. I watched a video once and there it was mentioned that Michael Jordan he dunks his basketball at a particular angle. If I'm not wrong, it was I think 40 degrees. So yes, you're right. Like STEM is involved in literally everything around us. We just have to be open enough to see it. And I think there are a lot of great opportunities in this field.
Like I knew a lot of people personally as well who liked STEM to an extent, but then when they try and like go up and try and understand more about it, they're like STEM is too complicated for us. It's too hard. Maybe I'm not capable enough. It's not that. I think like if you really are interested, you can go for it. There are so many people out there who'll be able to help you and simplify it. And I think people should not have that mental block that STEM is hard and science is a hard field. It's hard to get in. I've observed that a lot. What about you?
Yeah, me too. I mean, we just need to change the mindset. We need to think about it with a broader perspective. I mean, that's what we need. Even in you mentioned Formula One so many times. And you also mentioned other like sports, and there are so many other fields where we need STEM. I mean, technology. We're conducting our podcast here through laptops, which is again technology. I mean, it's everywhere. We need it everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot of people, like technology as well. For example, I've heard a lot of people, a lot of parents are preventing girls from going into chemistry, for example, chemical
Yeah.
engineering. They're saying, oh, that's too many chemicals, your hair might fall out, and things like that. And it's just like stopping you because, like, I know a lot of people whose parents have just stopped them from going and pursuing science because they're like, oh, it's not meant for you. I mean, boys are encouraged so much to take up these fields, like, why aren't females or girls given the same opportunities, the same amount of push from their families? Like, I don't get that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are you so against this? And I think role models play a really, really important part in it. What I've heard is that many females who, like Einstein's wife, Mileva Merrick, her ideas were like they said that they were stolen by him, and she wasn't given credit for her ideas. I think that's where the gap comes into the picture. Males are encouraged to take it up, but they like people around us, they don't realize that actually a female has enough intellectual knowledge to figure out all these problems. And I think that plays a major role. Society plays a major role in everything. I mean,
Yeah.
people may say that we shouldn't care about what other people think, but it does matter a lot.
Like you said, role models are really important. Like, for example, I want to do engineering in Formula One, and I'm not seeing many women in these spaces. And like, I'm not able to imagine myself in such a position. Like, I'm not able to project myself to be able to do that. And that's just so demotivating. I'm like, okay, if so many people were not able to do it, what's just that I can do it? Like, men have so much inspiration, they have so many role models, especially in science. And why don't like girls, young girls, have someone to look up to? I think that's really important because, like, if I have someone I can call a role model and I want to be like them, it motivates me so much. I'm like, okay, this person's able to do it, then why can't I? Right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
I'd also really like to tell girls not to limit themselves before they've even tried. Sometimes we assume certain fields are not for us because we just don't see enough people like us there. But that's exactly why representation matters. Asking questions, trying new things, and being willing to learn can honestly take you so much further than you expect. And representation really matters too. When girls see women succeeding in this role, it makes them feel more possible and accessible. The more diversity we have in engineering and STEM, the stronger and more creative the industry becomes.
I absolutely adore this mindset of yours. I mean, everyone should have this kind of thinking. One thing I couldn't take my eyes away from was your hair. It looks so beautiful today. Did you like do a curly hair routine or something?
I'm not the type to actually put too much effort, but today I tried to actually I put a little bit of curl cream, and I think it's like cooperating a little bit better today.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
Your hair is also really, really, really pretty. Like, I feel so jealous of people with straight hair sometimes. Like,
Thank you so much. But I don't have straight hair. I have wavy hair. And oh my God, I can't tell you how frizzy it gets sometimes. And that happens when I have something important to attend to. So yeah, it's cooperating today, thank God.
yeah,
Yeah. So
okay.
I don't want to end the session with a rapid fire session. Let me ask you a few questions. You excited?
I'm quite nervous, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so my first question is, are you like, do you love books or movies?
I'm a through and through bookworm. I cannot do movies because I kind of get scared a little bit. So I'd rather actually just read books, and I find it really fun. So you'll find me buried in a book half the time.
That's opposite of me. I love movies. But my next question to you is,
Okay.
what's the best compliment you've ever received?
Well, I've had people tell me that I like participate in different fields, like I do arts as well as science and a lot of things. So I really that's very flattering.
Oh, that's wonderful. One more question I have. Do you think that women are really incapable of, participating in STEM and other fields, but or is it just a stereotype norm by society?
I think it's a through and through stereotype. I think girls and boys, when they're born, there's nothing saying that boy's brain is like born more developed or smarter. There's nothing like that. I think it's just how we train our brain. And I also think that girls, if we're willing to learn, anything can happen. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? So if you put your heart to it and set out saying, I will do it, then for sure it can happen.
That's great. So,
Well, I would like to turn the tables here. I want to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Tea or
okay.
coffee?
I'm sorry, what?
Tea or coffee?
I love coffee so much. Like
Okay, so you're a coffee girl. Are you a night owl or a early bird?
a night owl through and through. Like I can wake up as late as you want me to, but in the morning, early, it's really tough for me until and unless there's something important.
Oh, that makes sense. I agree with you. And something on a serious note, do you have a particular stereotype or like a prejudice that you really wish never existed or something you want to break?
Some prejudice I want to break. It definitely has to be gender gap. I mean, I do not like this mindset of girls not being able to do what boys can, and that's what I want to break. And I really wish it never existed. I mean, it shouldn't have ever been a problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we should work towards breaking this stereotype, and I'm really glad to have had you today. I mean, I'm pretty sure you motivated and inspired young girls who are watching. One thing I want to mention to the young girls here, your voice matters and you are being heard. So speak up and don't be afraid.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here today, Akshada. It was a very insightful conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad to have had you today. So thank you. Thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you.